4 days? How many days have y'all been here? Oh my gosh. Are you full? Are you ready? Yes, awesome. I just had breakfast with one of your mentors, Keita Powell, this morning, and y'all have done a number on her, let me tell you. You know what? She was up here visualizing this as her national area. In her mind, all of you represent sales directors from her national area. Isn't that powerful? Awesome. That's the thing. Whenever you go to give something, you end up getting more in return, right? Yes. And what about Melinda and my awesome team? Have they done a good job? Is anybody still hungry from being here in Dallas? Did they feed you enough? Awesome. That's good to hear. Melinda, you know, is a veteran. Did she tell you? Yes. So happy Veterans Day, my love. Thank you for your excellence. I have the most amazing team at corporate, the best team of all, and I'm glad that they have left a permanent mark on your hearts for you all being here. Just congratulations. I'm the last to tell you while you're in Dallas, congratulations on a job well done. But I'm excited about your futures. You know, I wish you could see you through our eyes, because what we do at corporate is that we see and believe the best in you. And I know that you can come here feeling less than, or just feeling like, how did I get here? And what am I going to do when I go home? Is anybody still going to be working when I get back home from here? What have they done to my house now that I've been gone? How many of y'all have been thinking about that? Yes. Oh gosh, I know. It's real concerns, but seriously, we see the best in you, and we believe the best in you, and we know that by stepping into this leadership position, you're setting yourself up for success that you can't even imagine. We have walked through the journeys of all these top leaders that come and speak to you and teach you, and it's been amazing. I've been with Mary Kay now for 27 and a half of my 45 years on this earth. Yes. So having started off at 18 years old and grown up literally as an adult in this business has just been life-changing. It's been life-changing. The blessings have come bigger, better, and faster than I can ever possibly imagine. And that's what's in store for you. I hope you realize that we brought you here to kind of eliminate your memory a little bit and increase your imagination a whole lot, right? We want you leaving here dreaming about the possibilities, dreaming about the person you can become, not the person you have been and not the person you are right now. You know, God gives us those two resources. He gives us a memory to learn lessons from, but he also gives us an imagination where our dreams are, where our future lies. Your future lies in your imagination. So we're going to leave here dreaming about the life and creating through our mental ability the life that we want to live and a life that we want others to live through this incredible vehicle called Mary Kay. Is that a deal? Yes. And as a leader, you guys step out of being consultants in 98% of our company into leadership, directorship, the top 2% of our company. And so as a leader, what we do is we stand in the gap for other women, don't we? Right? They are here and they want to be here, and there's a gap, and we become that bridge that they cross to get to where they ultimately want to be. That's what you're doing. You guys don't fret about the responsibility of directorship. Don't overthink it. It is not all that you see that's being done out there. What it really boils down to, the people who are doing directorship in the healthy, mature way, the way Mary Kay designed it to be, those people are truly the people who see the best in other people and help them grow where they're planted. So your job is to see the best in other people and help them grow where they're planted. We don't fix people in Mary Kay because people are not broken. We're not broken. We do not fix. We aid in the development and growth of people to be their best self. Now here's the tricky part, leaders. Here's the tricky part, directors. People don't come with instructions. Now do that. Wouldn't you like it if you could just turn her over, turn her to her back, open that panel in the back and read the instructions? That would be awesome, but people don't come with instructions. People are who they are, and our job is to meet them there and help them grow where they're planted. Now, sometimes people, I always say, people are like, working with people is like digging for gold. When you dig for gold, you have to dig through tons and tons of dirt in order to find one little nugget of gold. Right? And so that's how people are. Sometimes they want to show you the dirt, but you have to know that there's gold in there. The tricky part is to know when to stop looking for the gold. Right? When you can, how many of you have had a team member who you were so excited about and you saw the possibilities and you believed in her before there was any evidence that she was going to be great, and just when you thought you were going to grab that piece of gold, she threw some more dirt in your way. Right? Amen, right? And so that's how people are. It's not your people, it's people. God did not give you all the wrong people. Right? God did not just give you dirty people with no gold. That's not how God works. That's not how people work. There's good in every person. The key as a leader is to know when to move on from pursuing the gold in that person. Even Mary Kay Ash let go of people. She never gave up on anyone, but she had to let go of people. Now just imagine, it's September 13th, 1963. She's got these 9 friends, and the 10 of them are looking at each other like, what did we just do? Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who this product is, right? Like, it was just a mystery 53 years ago. But day by day, right, day by day, they got out there and they met other women and they introduced the product to other women. They introduced the principles and the values to other women, and they brought women to see Mary Kay, and Mary Kay went to go see women, and the next thing you know, 9 turned into 1,000, and then 1,000,000, and then look at where we are today, right? Amen. Well, that's how your business is too. Nobody knows how awesome you are just right now. You do, but they don't. And you got your 24 people, right? And some of them don't know how awesome they are, right? But you gotta keep going out every day and sharing this product, right? And introducing people to the mission of Mary Kay and showing them a vision that this company can provide for them in their life, right? And you have to just keep going after it every single day. You can't wait for people to catch up to your leadership. Mary Kay kept going whether the 9 were going to show up every day or not. She had to keep going. The reason why we only know one of the 9 original consultants is because only one became a national sales director, and that's Daylene White, right? And so you can't think, now if Mary Kay Ash herself couldn't turn all 9 into nationals, how the heck are you going to do it? You got to keep going. Because from the many comes the few that will lead you to the top. From the many, the 9 for Mary Kay, 1 reached the top. From the 24 in your unit, maybe one of them will be your offspring sales directors. You know what we got to do? We're going for national. Many of you have set your vision to national sales director. That is your ultimate win through the Mary Kay vehicle. And if that's your ultimate win, you can't get 20 directors out of 24 consultants. Do you feel me? If you do that, if you're the first one in 53 years to accomplish that, we will rename a seminar after you, okay? We got diamond, we got emerald, we got sapphire, we got ruby, and we got Erica. Those are the 5 seminars, okay? Like, okay, no one has done that to this point, and there's a reason. It's because leaders are found in the groups of many. They're in the groups of many. So set your sights on adding a lot of new consultants to your unit every single month, because in that group of 10, there might be a 1. In that group of 20, there might be 2, right? So what we're going to do when we go home, when we leave here, is we're going to go get a new unit of people who only know us as a sales director. Who's excited about that? And you know the best part is you don't have to go through DIQ again to do it. I'm telling you that if you go home, right, and you grew from 10 to 24 in either 1, 2, 3, or 4 months, at least, right? And if you go home and you pursue 14 new recruits this month alone, the way you did during the course of your DIQ, oh my gosh, what that will do for your future. I'm telling you, there's a leader in the next 14 new recruits that your unit brings in. There's a leader. Even if it takes you 4 more months to add 14, do it. Because then you'll be big enough at the end of that number, you'll be big enough to do it in 3 months. And then at the end of that number, you'll be big enough to do it in 2 months. And then at the end of that number, you'll be big enough to add 14 in your unit in 1 month. And you know what? People who have 14 new recruits in 1 month, you know what they drive? Yes, they do. Yes, they absolutely do. We don't see people adding 14 new in their unit on a monthly basis walking to their meeting. They are driving a big Cadillac to their meeting at that point, right? And so we've got to become on a mission of finding women who were looking for a vehicle to live their best life. Mary Kay is simply the vehicle for women to live their best life. It is access to the dreams that they have in their heart. A lot of people have given up on their dream. And we're their answer and we're their solution. You are their answer and you are their solution. Your people are the answer and the solution. But let me tell you, team building is different today than it was 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. Right? No longer can you impress people by your accolades and your accomplishments. People are not impressed. Have you noticed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? They don't care what you have done and how much of it you have done. What they care about is, do you understand them? Can you help them win? Okay, good. It's good that you've won, but can you help me win? That's how people are today. Not Mary Kay people, people. So one of the things as a leader you constantly have to be doing is learning the next pivot that's going to take you to the next level of success. I was sitting on a plane flying to New York, first class. I was chilling. I'm not a talk to people on the plane kind of person. So I sit down, the guy next to me is already seated. He's a talk to the people on the plane kind of person. I'm like, this is going to be a long 4-hour flight to New York, people. I'm like, okay, he's talking already. I haven't even put my bag underneath the seat in front of me. What's your name, Sean? You know when you don't want to talk, you don't elaborate, you just say the one answer that satisfies the question. Sean, what do you do for a living? I'm the vice president of a multi-billion-dollar international... Oh, well, who do you work for? Mary Kay. Oh, Mary Kay, I know the family. I know Ben. I know, like, he's telling me people I don't even know in the family. Like, who's Jonah? I don't know Jonah. So, of course, what do strangers do? We ask the same questions that they ask us. What's your name? What do you do? He's a wealth manager. His clients are worth, all of his clients are worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. So I went beyond and asked a question that he did not ask me. Because now I know he knows the family, and he might go back and tell on me if I'm not engaged in this conversation. So I said, so John, what do all of you goes, I've written this many books, I've interviewed some of the richest people in the world. I said, John, what do they all have in common? What do all these rich people that are your clients, what do they have in common? He says 2 things. He said, number 1, they are completely sold out on their product or service. They believe that their product or service is the best that exists. It doesn't matter what the sales numbers say. It doesn't matter what the critics say. They believe their product or service is number one, the very best. Now, how cool is that? Do we believe that Mary Kay is the best? Yeah. Absolutely. So you've already done that. He said number 2 is that they go and follow a course. And as long as that course is successful, they continue on that course. But the moment they see signs that that course is no longer successful, stops producing fruit, they pivot. Now, we know companies that fail to pivot and are no longer companies. Y'all still get your movies at Blockbuster? Raise your hand if you go to Blockbuster every week to get your movies. Yeah. Why? Because they failed to pivot. Right? And that was like, I am so thankful that I was put next to Mr. Talkie on the plane. Because all of us as leaders, we've got to be paying attention to the pivots that we need to make in order for our businesses to continue to grow. If you came here not feeling good about what was going on in your unit, there's a pivot that's got to happen. I'm not talking 180, I'm talking about a slight adjustment here or a slight adjustment there. You know what those slight adjustments are. You heard it while you were here. You may have even known it before you got on the plane and come here, right? So what slight adjustment, just for those who are not growing right now, do you need to make? I'm not talking about a list. I'm talking about one, at the most 2 pivots that would take your business to the next level. We can't think that the world is going to change around us and what we're currently doing that's not working is going to start working one day. You don't have that kind of time. So we got to pivot. We, as the leaders, create the pivot that causes growth in our organizations. And you've got to be that person, right? So what pivots do you need to make? Here's the truth. Here's the truth. The truth is that Mary Kay is the constant and you're the variable. I said it. Yes, Mary Kay is the constant. How much do you buy your products for? $1. How much you sell them for? $2. That's true for everyone in this room. The order sheet that you order from, right? It's the same for everyone in this room. We don't send the mentors who are here a special order sheet with all the good stuff, right? We just say, Kate Elverum, send her the special order form with the better stuff in it so she can become a national. No. It's the same stuff that you buy at the same price. Kate Elverum, as a national sales director, pays the same amount for her products as you do. The career path, it's the same. The one that Heather Daniel Kent used last year to do $1 million, it's the same one that you have available to you. Same career path. Same products, same prices. So if this company is the same for every single person who signs an agreement, why are some people in this room as new directors and there's 98% of the people at home that are not directors? You're the it factor. You are the it factor. Stop looking out there. It's not out there. It's in here. The it factor is owned by you, the leader. So, if you're the variable, are you winning? Right? Are you winning? Are you ready to win? Are you set up for success? Right? Are you running down the right lane in your business right now that's creating the growth that you ultimately say that you want to have in this business? Are you lighting a fire in other people's souls? The short way to catch fire is to stand next to a flame. Are you a flame for your people? Are you on fire for your people? Or are you trying to change them so they can be more like you? Right? The last thing we want is another one of you. I will say that to you. I will say it to Gloria Mayfield Banks. Please do not give us another Gloria. We cannot handle 2 of them. Okay? Let's be clear. Because it's impossible to have another Gloria. It's impossible to have another you. Right? You are unique. Your gifts are your gift. Your strengths are your strengths. Your challenges are your challenges. Why are we trying to become something we're not? Why are we trying to encourage people to become more like someone else that's not them? That is a wrong approach as a leader, right? I had Leanna, is that you back there? This is my girlfriend. She was at Starbucks this morning, where I was before I came to see y'all, because I had a breakfast meeting with Keita Powell at Starbucks, and there Leanna was. She's like, "Can we buy you a Starbucks?" I'm like, "No, I should be buying you a car." Like, right? But she mentioned that she had heard something that I taught at an event, and I want to share that with you right now because it was a life-changing thing for me, and I hope that it hits you in the heart the way it hit me in the heart. And it has to do with my favorite book, The Greatest Miracle in the World. It's a short book. How many of y'all are short book readers? Raise your hand. Yes. If you give me more than 120 pages, oh boy, we got a challenge. It's a short book. The Greatest Miracle in the World is by Og Mandino. Right? Great book, Og Mandino. There's a chapter in the book where there's a memo that God has written to the reader. Right? So Og wrote it as if he was God writing you, the reader, a memo. And in that chapter, there are 4 points that he elaborates on. And one of those 4 points is to proclaim your rarity. In other words, be who you are supposed to be. Don't be like anybody else. You're not them. Be your best self. And in that chapter, in that section, in that chapter, he says, of all the people that God could have created between your mother and your father, he chose you. He said it wasn't a race between you and one other possibility. It wasn't a race between you and 10 other possibilities, or 1,000, or 100,000, or even 1,000,000. He says there were millions of possible people that could have been born between your parents, and God chose you. He's like, you are one of millions. There is no other person that exists in this world that has all the things that God gave you. And guess what? I chose to believe him. When I read that, I chose to believe him. That he was right. That I'm one out of millions of possibilities that could have been born. So I think about it and I was like, okay, so 46 years ago, my parents decided they wanted to have a third child, so they did what they needed to do. Right? And on December 25th, 1970, the winner of that race was revealed. Yes! I won! I literally beat millions. Do y'all know Shauna Key? No, because she didn't win. You know Brian Key? No, you do not. Brian Key didn't win. Sean Key won. I was the winner of that race. God chose you to be the champion, the winner of your race. So I decided I'm going to act like it every single day. Yes. So I go to bed as a champion. I wake up as a champion. I spend my whole day as a champion. Not because I say so, but because God said so 46 years ago. Do you believe that about yourself? Do you believe you literally beat millions of other people who could have been here today? You did. And so that's how I can walk around with level 10 confidence every single day, because God made it so, and I just stepped into his creation. I own those blessings. I own those gifts, and I own those strengths. Do you own your blessings, your gifts, and your strengths? Because if you don't, I want to encourage you to do so. I really do. Now, my parents have been married for over 50 years. They've had a lot of races. There's only been 4 winners. Okay? My 2 older brothers, me, and my sister. Okay? How special are we? That of all the races, over 50 years worth of races, there have only been 4 winners. Like, come on. How many of you are only children? children, you're the one winner. One winner from all of those years of races. Yes. And so I just want you to leave here knowing that there's a better you. Just like there's a better me, and there's a better Melinda, and there's a better Betty, and there's a better Chris, and there's a better all of us. And I'm constantly in pursuit of my best self. And because of that, I become contagious. People want to be around me because I'm on fire. Like, I believe we have two stories, our sad story and our success story. I only talk about my success story. You don't ever hear me complain about anything to anyone. You know why? Because that is not in agreement, in alignment with me being my best self. I don't want you to know me like that. Melinda read you my accolades. She didn't tell you I was fired once, did she? That wasn't in there, was it? She didn't tell you I had to walk to work or home from work because I didn't have a car for the first 2.5 years that I was in Mary Kay, right? None of that comes out in my success story because that was just a necessary thing that had to happen in order for me to get here. So when you go out in the world, don't try to impress people by how bad your life has been. Go out and tell people how great your life is and how much better it's going to be because of Mary Kay. What story are you telling them? How do people know you? You'll be amazed. I'm going to a retreat on Monday. I'm going to Pennsylvania on Monday, going to do an event out there, and I guarantee you there will be some women, before I get up to talk, who will come up to me and go, "Hi, Sean, nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you. Well, the reason why I'm not a director is because..." And then they'll tell me their sad story. It kills me. All the time people come up and introduce themselves as what they're not. And I'm in my brain going, cancel, 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 cancel. Because if I remember this about you, I will not want to be around you ever again. Because I can't go forward with you dragging behind me. Cannot. Like, American Airlines won't let me get on the plane with that much baggage. So there will be someone, at least someone, every time I go anywhere, there's at least someone who introduces me as their biggest problem. And not just their most recent biggest problem, it's the biggest problem that they've had their entire life. Well, I wouldn't be a director, but I went through a divorce. Oh, recently? No, 27 years ago. Were you even in Mary Kay 27 years ago? No, I started 3 years ago. Why is that important? How is that playing in your life? Please! Right? And so you want people to know you as your best self. Now, I'm not saying go out and tell people, "Now look, I did this, I did that, I'm great, I'm amazing, and I'm the best." I'm not saying that. You give off energy. We need to know more about them than they know about us when we build that relationship. Right? The first time you meet somebody, she should know very little about you at the end of that conversation. And you should know everything about her. Because truly, an interview is a selection process where you want to have the power. You don't want to give your power away. Yes. Now, if you tell her everything about you, and she knows everything about her, then she's got the power. Because she knows you and she knows her. But if you find out everything about her, and you know everything about you, and you know how great Mary Kay can work in the life of other women, who has the power? You do. Don't you want the power in an interview situation? You want that power. Because that's going to decide how you carve out the right words for that woman. You cannot be 100% accurate with your words if you're only using information you know about yourself and information you know about Mary Kay. That's the throw the spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks approach. And that's not how it works anymore. Y'all stop it. Stop doing interviews where you're telling your eye story for 40 minutes. And then you're talking about Mary Kay for another 20 minutes. And then you're asking them if they think this is something they would like to do. When I say it like that, doesn't that just like hit you right in the head. It does. An interview should be a discovery of who this woman believes she is, what her past has been, what her present is, and what her future looks like. When you walk away with the answers to what her present looked like, what her past looked like, her present looks like, and her future, the future she dreams of, when you walk away with that information, you can carve out the right version of Mary Kay for that woman now, can't you? Yes. And it's going to increase your success rate in team building because you are not selling her something she says that she doesn't say she wants. Mary Kay herself said it. This opportunity is like a buffet. And when you go into an interview and you are spitting out everything that's on the buffet, you're going to gross some people out. But if you took that same person and she told you what she likes, and you only took her to those places on the buffet, would that be a more successful experience for her? Absolutely. You're building trust. And we all know trust is the foundation of a healthy relationship. We are in the relationship business. Stepping up to leadership means you've stepped up to a higher relationship level. You went from dating to marriage. And this is the wedding. And so when you leave here, you can't still be in honeymoon mode. You've got to be in marriage mode. I'm teaching right now, this is new. Most people haven't heard this yet, but I'm going to share with y'all. 3 things that happen in a relationship, right? 3 things. One is that we attract people that we want to date, don't we? We attract them by how we look, our image, but also, more importantly than that, what comes out of our mouth. We attract, right? How many of you are married? Do you remember when you dated your husband? Now, if he would have come to the date talking all kinds of nonsense and foolishness, would there have been a second date?
No.
So he could have come sharp as a tack, or he could have come in cut-off jeans and a raggedy t-shirt. But if the words out of his mouth were the right words, you would have said, I can buy him some clothes. This is a minor issue right here. We can go to Banana Republic, right, and get him some new clothes. But we can't fix the words that come out of people's mouths, can we? So first stage of relationship building is attracting people that you want to date. The second stage is turning dates into marriage. So the first stage for you and your business is like recruiting people into the business. They like you, right? The dating stage in relationships is, I like this person. So you've got to create a pathway for people that you're not dating, who are not in Mary Kay, to want to be in Mary Kay, that will like you. Then there are a few of the people that you're dating that are marriage material. And we want to go from dating to marriage with those people. That means they become your offspring sales director. And marriage is about equality. So you can't be better than them. Even if you are better than them in skill, in experience with Mary Kay, they have to believe that they're your equal. When you're raising up leaders, it's important to treat those people as equals. So we gotta be great at attracting new people to date, and we gotta turn a few of those people from dating to marriage. And guess what? A third part of building a relationship is breaking up. How many of you dated only one person and ended up marrying that one person? Wow, I'm surprised. Oh, there's one in the 2. There's a couple. They're not the majority. Would you agree they're not the majority? Look, there's 170 leaders in this room, and 10 maybe dated one person their entire life. So we got to break up with people. How many of y'all have broken up with someone? Everybody else, right?
Yeah.
But the key to breaking up is that they're still your friend after you break up. A healthy breakup means that you can still be friends after the relationship is over. And what that means for you is that you might have an on-target or a DIQ who isn't going to continue with her Mary Kay business, but she can still be in your unit. You can have an offspring director that spends years as a director and then something changes in her life and she don't want to be a director anymore, but she still is a friend in your unit. She's still a consultant. It is important for the people who are considering marrying you that they see you have healthy breakups. Does that make sense? So how would you rate yourself in those 3 areas? Number 1, how good are you on a scale of 1 to 10 at attracting new people to date? Here's how my scales work. 1 means you're not good at it, 5 means you're kind of good at it, and 10 means you own it, you're great at it. There are no other numbers, so do not put 7. Because 7 is really 5. Did you put 7? Yes. I know, that's wishy-washy. If a consultant came up to you and was like, I'm a 5 on the scale of 1 to 10, you would cut her. All right, so 1, 5, or 10, how good are you at number 1, attracting new people to date? How good are you at number 2, turning dates into marriage? Seriously, all of you out there who say, I want to be a national, you have to turn dates into marriage. That means she's your offspring. She's marrying Mary Kay. Like you marry Mary Kay, you're here as a new director. She's got to come to Dallas or wherever we do New Director Week and be married to this company in order for you to be a national. You need 20 women to marry Mary Kay. You and Mary Kay. How good are you at that? And how good are you at breaking up with people who aren't ready for marriage or the marriage doesn't work out and keeping them as your friend? You've got to be a 10 in all 3 of those categories if you want to reach the top of this level. I'm here to tell you. You got to be. Especially number 1. If number 1 doesn't happen, there is nothing to talk about. So if number 1 is a problem for you, we're going to have a session after this session with Dr. Phil. And no, seriously, you've got to be a magnet for other people. You've got to be. That's what you signed up for. I've got to be a magnet for other people. Not just my own personal team members, but people that my consultants bring into the business, right? You've got to be a magnet for them. They got to like you. They got to want to date you. You know how many people have left Mary Kay because they didn't want to date the director? A lot. And then you got to select from the many the few that you're going to marry. That's the hard part of leadership, is selecting the right people to marry. What's good for you is you can marry as many people at the same time as you want to. In fact, I encourage you to always have 5 that you're trying to marry every single month. So your starting lineup on the 1st of every month, you should have a starting lineup. It's a list of names of people who are moving into DIQ at the end of that month. Do you all have that? Who has their list of 5 right now? You know your list of 5 or you have it written down. The rest of you, please, on your way home tonight, I know it's the 12th. I know you're 12 days behind in making your list, but it's okay because there's a lot of month left. Write down. If you don't have 5, don't force the 5. If you don't have 5, don't force. Well, he said I had to have 5. Yes, 5 real, legitimate people who have the confidence to lead other people. It doesn't matter what skill level she's performing on. It doesn't matter how much knowledge she has about Mary Kay. What matters is that she has the confidence to attract other women. We teach skill. We teach knowledge. But talent is innate. If she has the talent of being a confident woman, then she's ready for leadership. Those are the 5 people I'm talking about. And if you don't have 5 level 10 confident people, you go find the rest of them yourself. That is your responsibility. People always want to know, how do I balance my personal business with raising up leaders? Here's how you balance it. If you have 5 women who are moving in a leadership position, they become your top priority. So first are the 5. Second is your personal business. But if you don't have the 5 at the start of the month, your personal business becomes number 1, and raising up the 2 or 3 or 1 that you have becomes secondary. It's really simple. Stop making this hard. How many of you came trying to figure out, how do I balance my personal business with running my unit? I just told you. Okay? If you are confused by that, we need another session with you. It's number 1 if you don't have 5 people working towards the IQ. It's number 2 if you have 5 people working towards the IQ. It's that simple. Okay? And Ms. Melinda, tell me when to shut up. 5 more minutes? Okay. Because I could talk to y'all for till midnight. Seriously.
Later flight.
So you feel me on this? So number 1 is attracting people to date. Number 2 is moving people from dating to marriage. You need 20 women who want to marry you and Mary Kay. And you are really even not as important as Mary Kay is in this marriage, right? Because sometimes people don't get along with their senior on the way to directorship. And it's okay. Just be happy she's an Offspring sales director, right? Let her pay your house payment, right? Or your second house payment. Like, come on, she could be your lake house, right? It's okay. And she can. Right? And then the third thing is, when you do have to break up, the feeling among the people is that it's okay because we remain friends. Somebody, tell me somebody who's not good at number 2. Who's bold enough to say, I'm not good at number 2? You're not good at number 2? Can you stand up right here? Yes, I'm sorry, I don't mean to point. You're not good at number 2? Would you rate yourself 1, 5, or 10? 5, okay? And so, what are your thoughts about that?
Where do they go?
They come. There's no marriage.
No, it's like, good weekend, but then.
We call that the hookup. She hooks up with people. How is the breakup? How is the breakup? Huh?
Not pleasant.
It's not pleasant.
No.
Okay, this makes sense. The real deal is that the breakup is so bad in the eyes of the people that they never want to go from dating to marriage. Because they've seen the breakup. And the breakup isn't good. See, number 2, often that hole in the middle of number 2 is a reflection of whether number 3 is working or not. So, number 3 has to get better in order for number 2, for people to move out of 1 into 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, as long as we don't take this further, we're going to be friends. But the moment I take it further, deeper relationship, it's going to end and it's going to be ugly and we are not going to be friends anymore, is the perception of your people. Yeah. They perceive you as all or nothing when it comes to the end of this relationship. And they would rather stay playing nice and liking you than moving from like to love because they've seen what has happened to others who have done that. So we got to fix number 3. You guys, relationships are all about expectations. We're going to do some premarital work here because some of y'all are not setting good expectations for the people that you're dating, so they fear marriage because there are no expectations. Right? All relationships are about expectations. All of them. Romantic relationships, friends, right? Work relationships, they're all about expectations. So one of the things that's going to help you that just stood up so boldly and shared with us is that you're going to set clearer expectations up front. You're going to say, Mary, I'm so excited about your decision to pursue directorship. And I want to sit down with you and make sure we're on the same page as you move forward, because the most important thing out of this journey is that at the end, we still remain friends and we still enjoy each other as friends. So there are going to be some really high highs, and there might be some challenges along the way, but I like you because of who you are and not what you do with your Mary Kay business. When you build a relationship on qualities that people possess instead of performances that they do, you have a chance of keeping that person as a friend after she no longer is doing anything. And that's what you want. We affirm people that we are moving into leadership. We see the good inside of them and we celebrate that good. We magnify that good. We shine the light on the good. Stop talking to people about their performance and start talking to people about who they are as people. Right? That is the key. That is what's going to help those relationships. So no matter what happens to you, no matter what happens to Melinda and I as vice president and someone who works on my team, I'm always going to love Melinda because of her kindness. I'm always going to love Melinda for that hunger. She has a hunger inside of her to get better. She knows there's a better her, and she's pursuing that every single day. That's what I love about her. So even if she's not on my team anymore, I can still love her for who she be. And so we learn the art of affirmation and we share the blessing that people are in our lives with the people, and they can show up no matter what's going on in life as that blessing, right? That's what we want to do. We want her to come to the meeting even if she has a finger bender on the way, because she is joy. She is, excited. She is charismatic. She is something, a quality, not a performance. We want her to come to the meeting even if she sold negative $5 last week. Right? Don't you want her at the meeting even if she owes money to her customers? Right? Well, she's not going to come if you're only seeing her as her most recent performance. And she didn't sell anything last week. We're in the people business, not the performance of people business. If you will impact the people, they will perform. I was just saying to Keita, you never have to chase after a champion. If you feel like you're always having to resuscitate people, you're always having to chase them down and remind them of their victories that they're pursuing, and reminding them that they gotta have parties, and reminding them they have to have bookings, those aren't champions. You don't want to marry those people yet. Because people do get more committed. Right? How many of you hung out in Mary Kay for a while before you became a director? Right? It's no different than the person who did it right out of the gate. It's the same amount of time from decision to victory. It's the same amount of time. You just didn't make the decision until recently. So we date you until you're ready to be married. Stop trying to marry everybody. And especially stop hooking up with everybody. I know I gotta go. Y'all, I have to go. I really have to go. But I just want to say thank you for who you are in our lives. Like really, on behalf of the 5,000 employees of Mary Kay around the world, we are nothing without you. You are our reason that we come to work every single day. There is no other focus for us than you. We never have a conversation about your customers because your customers are your customers. That's not what we're responsible for. We're responsible for you having your best experiences of your lives through this company. So please know that we wake up every day for you. We go into that office every day or on the road every day for you. You are the center of our daily decisions. And I just couldn't be prouder of you, couldn't be more excited for you. I know that there's a future that's brighter than you can even imagine because I've seen it in the lives of other women in 27 and a half years. I've seen people go from new consultant to national sales director. I walked through that journey with them, and I'm going to walk through that journey with you. I want to go to Alaska with you on a top director trip. I want to go visit your $1 million suite. I want to call you to say, congratulations, you just got your highest check in 1 month, and it's $83,000. I want to see the pictures on Facebook of you picking up your first pink Cadillac, right? I want to be at your NSD debut ceremony. Like, that's what we dream about, y'all. We dream about your success. And I'm just like so bursting at the seams excited about who you are for our company and who we get to be as we stand in the gap for you. So enjoy your trip home. Whatever you learn here, teach it in the next 24 hours or it is gone. Do you understand you retain 6% of the stuff that you learn, but you retain 96% of the stuff that you teach? Stop being a student only and become the teacher of the great stuff that people are pouring into your life. I love you. Goodbye.